Hello everybody, Darren here, and welcome back to Total War Rome 2, Divide et Impera as Rome. Now we're picking up right where we left off at the end of the previous episode. The Punic War is in full swing. We occupy half of the island of Sicily, maintaining the city of Syracuse, and we're obviously battling against Carthage, who are kind of coming to and fro from the mainland over to the western part of the island. Now, it's a new week, new set of recordings, new set of videos, releasing Monday to Friday. I thought we could do a bit of a recap as it is Monday. I think recaps on Mondays would be a good idea, just where we spend a little bit longer going over the situation, but not too much longer, because I've noticed there are things that I'll miss that kind of accumulate, and then it's good to kind of catch up, take a breather, and have a look at what's going on. So, to kick us off, oh my god, I'm like out of breath. I'm such a weak gamer. Right, let's have a look at diplomacy. Basically, we're at war with Carthage and Epirus, which we should know, and we'll talk about how those two wars are currently going. But something I didn't realize is we're actually at war with a third faction, Koinon ton Aetolon, the Greek city-state out here, which I've been just referring to as Corinth. There is no Corinth on the map. It would be traditionally around here, I think, but it's Larissa, right? So I don't recall them going to war, so I actually looked up the video and went through the footage, and I was like, about 2 turns ago, our diplomacy screen listed them in our list of enemies, but I never saw an event message that said they waged war, and never saw them do anything in the end turn sequence, so not sure how that happened, but it did. So we're at war with them. Should I just check? They're not a client state of Carthage or anything, are they? That could maybe explain it. No, they're just at war with us, and they're not doing anything else. So we've got a bunch of negatives, you know, being at war with them, the past war with Epirus, so maybe they had some sort of they might have had some sort of trade deal, or just the Greek affiliation with them maybe means that they're unhappy that we're at war with them. Anyways, long story short, we're at war with them. We have to think about that in the future, but let's go over our current war and think about what the situation is. So, we obviously took Syracuse and we wiped them out. People were a little unsure, but it did seem like Syracuse were at war with Carthage. I checked the footage for that. So the army that was here seemed to have gone off and attacked them. They possibly went off to sea and got destroyed by a fleet. Who knows? We got a very opportunistic moment to kind of come in and then just take them out when they didn't have an army. Obviously, I'd prefer have a big battle, genuinely, but it just wasn't to be. And this game sort of denies you that a lot. But I'm sure we will have some eventually. Alright, anyways. Now, we've taken the city of Syracuse. However, because of the culture being only 8% Latin and going to take a long time to build up, 2 things are at play. Number 1 is that population is pretty much all foreigner. So they're foreign to us, right? They're the Greek culture, so we consider them foreign. So there's not many Latin-based, I was going to say Roman, but yeah, I guess. There's not many Romans here, if you want to think of them that way. But they're growing. Or at least the third classes, so the patrician and the plebs aren't. However, we're about to finish building our consecrated ground temple. That's going to boost Latin culture, and then our field of Mars as well, I guess, will let us to recruit different things when we build an auxiliary barracks. So if you have a look at the breakdown of population, we can actually see loads of various numbers that I don't like seeing, but the one that's really important is the very, very bottom of this tooltip. It says region majority culture, -3% on class 1, 2, and 3. They're both getting 2% each then. And then the 4th class, the foreigner class, is still growing because of the culture. So it's really interesting because there's lots of different things that affect this, but those ones are massive overrides. That culture penalty is really preventing us getting our population installed into Syracuse. Now, why is that a problem? It means that we can't replenish. These guys don't have the population to pull their units from or replenish their units to. So that's part of the interesting part of the game, which I mentioned, which is we're only going to build these barracks in Italy, and as we go further and further out, we'll really have to install auxiliary barracks and draw from the foreigner populations, and then when we build up Latin populations, we'll be able to use them for certain units, but not be able to get the traditional kind of Roman units that you might think of. Okay, so yeah, that's all kind of interesting, I think, anyway. So the war with Carthage at the moment, as it currently stands, we've launched a few raids on Acragas and taken some loot and things like that, and they've kind of been going back and forth with their armies. We can see they have a transport ship here, and they have their regular army in Carthage itself. We had a spy out this way that's now going to make its way over towards North Africa, so we can kind of just keep an eye on what's maybe heading in that direction, and then maybe we'll walk her along the coast here just to see again, are they fielding or bringing any armies up to the front line. Because no doubt they can get into this island very quickly with a lot more armies than we have right now. However, good news is they're at war with a lot of people in Iberia, so that might be taking some of their attention. But, you know, we are the player, we are Rome, they might want to focus on us too. Now, in order to get these two settlements, we're building a fleet. Because they have kind of naval dominance right now. Not by much. I've only seen one fleet of theirs, and it's this one here. There's 7 ships. And then we're building a fleet right now, which also coincidentally has 7 ships on the way. Next turn it'll be 7. I kind of want to build it up to about 10, maybe 12. And when we get that, then we're kind of free to kind of circle around and protect our island, as it were, as we make investments into Panormus and Acragus. Now, if we keep attacking and looting and draining them, we're killing the population fairly substantially, but it is good money, so I don't know. We'll do it a little bit, but maybe not like overdo it, because otherwise it'll take a long time to build that back up. So let's talk about their fleets and our fleets and what the plan is up here. So we've got an army waiting across the Adriatic from the Epirus faction. They have an army doing the same thing. We're at war. We could maybe make peace with them, but I'm really tempted to sort of take that city and then get them as a client state, because then they'll continue their war with Carthage. They're at war with Carthage as well. So they're at war with Carthage, they're at war with us, so if we make them a client state, they'll fight on our behalf. They may one day betray us, but at least it's another sort of couple of armies that might pester Carthage. The negative to that is what they take will be theirs, not ours. So we might have to fight them later for it or something. So it's like, I wouldn't mind if you go for like certain islands like Corralis and Alalia, but really, as long as we don't share a province, it's actually okay if you want to take some things. I'm happy to keep client states in this game, or attempt to, but that's what I'm kind of thinking at the moment. I don't want to just wipe everyone out. It's certainly more interesting, I think, to try and keep client states happy and play around with them that way. The other benefit is that we mentioned this before, I don't really want to take this province because then we have to push into Greece. It's a whole thing. And maybe they're also, because they're at war with because I'm at war with Corinth, we might be able to open up a second front and help Epirus expand, actually. So that could be kind of cool. All right, not much else to talk about, I don't think, before we can just get into the swing of things. The last thing is this rebellion here. So for anyone who doesn't know, a rebellion has occurred, meaning that, you know, public order went low enough to -100 that a rebellion has popped up. Every turn they gain units, and they also drain our income in this region because they're raiding it. However, they don't affect our public order, because when it's a rebellion, there's an override that basically just always gives you 20 public order, because it says that malcontents are leaving for the rebellion. So people are leaving, going to the rebellion, so you're always gaining order back into the city over time. So in a way, you can sort of farm this, let them grow for a while, if you feel like you're going to be able to deal with it, and that way the public order is going to come back up. I'm going to do that to just a small little bit, not too much, because as I mentioned, we can't replenish right now, so we want to let them build a little bit, but nothing too serious. Otherwise, we'll take more damage, and then it'll take even longer to replenish, and so on and so forth. So maybe 1, maybe 2 more turns, we'll see how we go, and that'll bring the public order up. Then our temples will get done, stuff like that, and then we'll be in a better position to get replenishment and just kind of defend this little city for a while. Now, I'm in public order. I'm in patrol stance. We want to actually go into fortify stance, which costs us more money. Patrol stance does lower your upkeep and a few other things, increases public order, that kind of thing. But we're open to an ambush if we're in patrol stance. We don't want them turning and ambushing us, but I also don't want the Carthaginian fleet here to just make landfall and hit us. Now, this is kind of an interesting thing. They're transports. So there's 2 types of fleets in the game. There's transport ships, which are just an army that is disembarked onto the ocean. They get their ships built for free. They're transport ships. They're super weak, and they're usually quite slow. However, these guys actually have pretty significant distance. Surprisingly, they're actually able to make landfall and move and attack me, according to what it looks like their reach is. And normally when you hop out to sea, you lose pretty much all your movement points, but then you have a lot after that. And it depends on the season as well. It's spring, things are okay, the weather might be good in the region, so they seem to have a decent buff of where they want to go. If you have a look at a fleet, the fleets can go way further. This is a proper naval fleet. A naval fleet of 7 ships to engage even transports like this, where there's like 13. The naval fleet will wipe the floor with them, because it's like they sort of one-tap ram a transport ship and it goes down. Transports can be effective if they actually manage to board another ship, because then they've got loads of, you know, their strength is the army. So when the army actually hops onto the other ship, they can really cut them up. But if you just deny them that, then you can take them out and sink them before they get anywhere. Anyway, so that's why I'm building my fleet. We want to be able to put our troops onto the fleet, get across to Epirus, client state them, and also just protect our Italian towns, which are vulnerable, which are the ones in here. These ones aren't coastal, so I'm not too worried about them, but these are. So if they get hit by even a fleet, they could do an assault on the port. There's only 7 ships, so I'm not worried about that. But if they had a bigger fleet, that would be a concern. So, yeah, we'll leave it at that. I think that's pretty much everything covered. So let's just go through our different stuff now. That's just patrol stance for a while. Right, so Memia Ahenabarba, our spy down here, she's leveled up. Gonna go down the antagonist... No, sorry. The spy chain, so extra cunning and chance of evading agents. And then agent chain, so authority and chance of critical success. So a 5% chance of, you know, surviving and also being successful. And then also we just increased the cunning, which increases line of sight. We'll give her the guard dog as well, which is extra cunning and extra chance of wounding enemy agents in self-defense. And sorry if I sound a bit weird, my nose is totally blocked up right now, so I'm struggling to breathe. All my breathing has to be done through my mouth, and I'm talking a lot. Right, so we have then our Canis governor up here at Rome. He's also leveled up. So I was thinking, you know, I was quite disappointed in this guy because he has that culture conversion, but he has the 8 construction cost percentage increase, which sucks. So I'd like to maybe somewhat mitigate that if we could. If we get this one, it's negative to... it's probably not worth it because they're in 2 different categories. -5 to building construction costs. I feel like maybe we shouldn't double down on something that he's weak on, trying to level it out. Instead, just go with what he's strong with and then move him around accordingly. So I'll go with the tax rate in local province when deployed seems pretty good, but also the culture. I guess we'll go with the tax rate just to be different. So he's an administrator. So 4% tax rate in local province, and at level 3, that's a 16%. So that's pretty big if you can get him to that. Now, I might do the culture benefit upgrade too eventually. Although our culture is growing, so I guess that's the important thing in Rome. Now, another thing that's kind of interesting is we got 2 public order down here now that we're patrolling. I noticed that we're not actually taxing this area. If we look at our provinces, Latium is making 4,400, Magna Graecia is making nothing, and neither is Sicily, because we're not taxing them, so we're not getting anything out of them. But seeing as we're trying to raise this fleet, I think we have to turn on our taxes. That gives us 1,400 almost, so it's 1,332. And it changes the kind of food situation, but that's okay. Now, taxes, I think, are on low. Yeah, they're on low, so it's not too bad. It's -2 public order, which I think we can handle just for a little while. And culture is growing, if I'm not mistaken, as well. 1.9%, so that's good. So with that extra money, we'll be able to afford the upkeep of the fleet a bit better, but also maybe invest in certain buildings. I was thinking of going down the research chain here, so that's 1890. Next turn, we actually get a trader. And we'll build that up here. I've been waiting for that. And I also wanted to get the latrines. A place to meet, chat, and share a sponge. Lovely. Because this actually provides growth to the settlement. So something that we're kind of far away from is you need 5 growth to expand. And 4 and 4 and 7. So a lot. And we're only gaining... Well, actually, 19 isn't too bad, but it takes quite a while. I think it's 100 each time to level up. Oh, no, sorry, 200, actually, to get to the next one. I should just read my tooltips better. So, growing at 19, but you need 200. It's a long time before we even get to level 2, and we need to be at level 4 just to be able to expand a little bit. So, I kind of want to invest in growth a bit more, and this is the only one that does that. So, that's 2, and then 4, and then 8 eventually. These ones actually don't provide growth. So, probably go with that. I think I'll just save my money for one more turn and then start buying things. And then, yeah, food bonuses can give growth also. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So let's just see who else we need to move. And this person needs to upgrade our champion in the army down here. So we want them to be good at military training. Unit experience gained per turn for parent army. Yep, so let's go down this chain. Well, I get this one as well. This is experience gained by the general. Sextus Antonius Dento. Alright, we'll just see who hasn't moved. You haven't moved, but you don't need to. The governors don't need to move. We already moved the spy out there. Alright, I'm going to rename this. It's not Legio 3. This is just going to be... Right, so there we go. So now, on the right-hand side, we have Governor Cornelius Scipio. That's the name of the army, but he's never going to have an army. At least right now. If he ever does, we'll change it to, like, Legio 3 or something. But this way, I just see from the list, like, I know who's kind of doing what. And then we have Legio 2 Magna Graecia, Legio 1 Latium, who have expanded now into Sicily. But that's fine. That's where they came from, which is what I like. Cool. All right. I think we're good to go. I don't think there's anything diplomacy-wise that we need to do. And we're going to just let them build up their army. Everything is... Yeah, everything's right. All right. Let's begin.
All would surely benefit if we agreed to open trade from this day on.
This sounds great. So...
Well,
the Rutini, who are military allies with Massalia, who we're trying to be kind of friendly with, and we are friendly with, are offering me trade for 3,400. I'll take it. Absolutely. How much is it worth? 162. This is great. As we're starting to make more trade items now, I guess the value is just going up. Alright, there we go. Research complete. The common weights and measures. How much is a handful of grain? Or of olives? Whose hand is used? Exactly. Always thought about things like that. Anyway, pirates spotted. Pirates spotted! Off the coast of Illyria, pirates and raiders have gathered in a rather sizable fleet. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh, I had no idea this was a thing. Or at least I didn't remember. Maybe it's new. Illyrian pirates, 13 ships. Ugh, that sucks. We're just building our fleet right now. Give me a break. Trying to deal with the Carthaginian fleet and then they throw this at me. What's this? Enemy transports. That's very interesting. We could nail them. There's only 5 of them. A little Eperot fleet. I think we might do that. Oh, wait just a minute anyway. Let's have a read of other things. So, the Rutini, who we just signed that trade agreement with, have gone to war with the Sistani. And they're now attacking... Oh, no, they're not. But they could be attacking down here in the future. Okay. Construction report. The consecrated ground field in Mars and Sacred Grove have been built. Great. Unseasonal conditions. A warm summer. Which is a good thing, I believe. How do we see that? There it is. 10% campaign map, movement range, public order, replenishment, morale, wealth from agriculture. I won't read these out every time we get them, but as we start to learn what a warm summer means and so on, then, you know, we can leave it. Household is expanded for Cursor. Our ship guy down here. Our admiral, I should say. Cunning, public order for military presence, chance of evading enemy agents. That should be fine while you're at sea. Troubled populace down in Sicily, but that actually means it's getting better. And now they're at 12 units, so they were at 8, so they've gained 4. We might have to attack them now then, because 16 might be a bit much.
Ready for orders.
Faction joins the war, the Turdetani against the Lusitani. Lusitani are in Iberia. We've got our 2 new ships, and hidden agent has been exposed. Abibal, there she is. Faction encountered, the Illyrian pirates. Right. Okay, interesting stuff. Yeah, I didn't expect much of that. We're doing well for money now, though. 9,800. Alright, so first thing, get a couple more ships. We've got 2 assault ships, and then the rest are missile. Just keep going missile. They're cheaper, and they'll do the job for ramming just fine. Alright, so Legio 1 Latium. I'll just do economic things, and then we'll begin the fights. I just noticed the music has gone off, so I'm going to have to save it and come back in. Alright, we're back. The music is playing again. But unfortunately, our events are all gone. But that's why at least we had a look at them beforehand. Alright, so we'll move our spy again. Let's continue towards Africa. And I guess we'll just go like that now. Let them do their automatic movements. I suppose we'll just try and make landfall there. Alright, cool. So, Carthage landed an army in here, and they're currently recruiting. So, 15 units. So, 1, 2, 3, 4... 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So they're recruiting 2 at the moment. Not going to do any agent actions. Our agent's so weak that we won't really be able to do anything anyway. Actually, 40% isn't that bad of a success chance, but yeah, we'll just leave it for a little while. Alright, so, let's go into none. Let's go attack this Syracusean rebel army. I don't think we'll have to fight it out. It should be easy enough. Yeah, so that's good. Alright, so auto-resolve. We'll do protective. And then we will, I suppose, enslave those captives. Good night. The rebellion has been dealt with. So let's see what our public order has changed to. -4. Not great. Let's hop back into our center point and we'll just go back into fortified stance. That's 4% replenishment rate, but again, no population here, so we'll just have to hold. So we've got 20 units, we have the garrison at our back, and then we have this army here gathering strength. So still all to play for, because our army is kind of weak now. Now, for the temple that we're going to go with here, I'm just wondering, I guess Latin influence is what we need the most, which I think this one does the most. It's 5. This one also does 5. This one does 8, if you get to that point, but its regional income is quite low. Yeah, so I guess we'll go with this one then. Alright, the Eagle. Shrine of Jupiter. Right, so I was just looking over the building chains really quickly. We've got two other regions here. One is fishing and one is grain, so both are agricultural focused. So I was thinking for the port that we actually built, we could go down the fishing port chain. Now this will give us food and wealth from agriculture and stuff as we build it up. It doesn't actually scale the income that you get from farming and livestock or anything like that, unless you do the export food edict, but it's only local to here. It's not the entire province anyway, at least from what I understand from the tooltip. So it's tempting to go with the Emporium to increase the foreigner population, the supply lines that go further. Foreigner population here would actually be kind of good later on because we're going to build the auxiliary camp. But part of me thinks like, well, if we go down to this one and then we get a yellow building later that can scale agricultural income, this could be a powerhouse for like agricultural income, to use the same word. So yeah, I kind of feel like that's where we're going to go. So that's what I'm going to do. Just thought I should justify or explain my thought process on that. Built an auxiliary camp as well, which is going to consume money. That's actually drained a lot of our income already. Down here, I'm going to go with the research library in Taurus. So it's going to basically give us a -1 to empire maintenance, which is just more income across everywhere. So that's obviously really good. And then also increasing research rate just a little bit is nice for now. Right, not much else to do. So yeah, we have the fleet to deal with. So I'm a bit worried. If I come out of port to deal with the Epirus fleet down here, this fleet could come down and probably just destroy me. So I don't think we're ready yet. So we'll just keep an eye. We'll keep building up our fleet. We'll keep an eye on what Epirus are doing. But there's not much else. I wonder if the Illyrian pirates will take care of them, actually. That'd be interesting, because they're at war with everybody, I think. They're like rebels. So yeah, not much else to really have a look at. By the way, we're 2 turns now away from our protection of politics going away. As soon as that does, we'll have a look over this. I've already read it myself, but I'll just kind of introduce you to the other factions really quickly and tell you what they kind of want. Oh yeah, sorry. We did get our technology, so now I want to get that Philosopher's one, which gives us 2 cultural conversion everywhere, just by default, so that's also really good. Also then want to go down the naval chain after that, right? Naval maneuvers. So upkeep cost for all fleets is reduced, and then recruitment is also reduced by 3%. It'd be nice to have that now, but I really do want the culture first. It seems to be a stronger limiting factor of things. So let's just end the turn. I think we're good to go. Just always want to quickly go over things. Yep. All right. Trade agreement dissolved with the Dalmatia. Interesting. Why is that? Oh, they lost their port up here. They're landlocked now. I see. Mission issued. Research technology in the following category: siege, and then we get a -25% siege unit recruitment cost. That's fine. Not gonna bother with that. So if we just have a look at what's going on here, the pirates have moved north. They're outside Eader, which has now been taken over by the RDA. Very interesting. The RDA must have swept around somehow, gotten that city. Or that region. I don't know how they really managed to pull that off, because the zone of control here is so big. They must have done it by going at sea. I don't know. Anyway, I just wouldn't have thought. It really seemed like Dalmatia were the guys that were going to win this region, but now it's 2 regions v 1 city. Kind of interesting. Right, so faction rises. The Egrisi, don't know who they are. The Cotini, nor them. Motivated populace in Latium. People are happy here. 4% tax rate, 3% growth, 3 growth per turn. Love it. Slave trader has been built in Rome. No wonder they're happy, right? The people. The non-slaves. Let's go with the latrines. Get that extra growth that we wanted. And then the trader is... Actually, we'll go with the trader first. So a trader. 2 growth per turn. 100 wealth from income. Sorry, from 100 income from local commerce. But a 4% tariff from all trade agreements. And a 10% wealth from all commerce. So that's pretty damn good. Let's go with the trader. At the expense of some public order, though. Personality report. Decimus Gabinius Seneca, our veteran down here who's training the army. He's leveled up. Troubled populace in Magna Graecia. They're actually getting happier though right now, so not too worried about that. Raiding Hemiolas have been built. We're actually out of money. I might have to cancel one of those buildings to get the money back. To keep building the fleet. I really want to keep building the fleet. The fishing port down here is really not that important right now, so I'm going to cancel that one. Get that money back for a bit. Build a couple more ships. Just go another 2. That might be it then, once we get those for a while. Maybe 1 after that. We do still have the Epirot fleet down here. They're now patrolling down here. Again, quite tempting. Now that these guys have moved all the way north, It's pretty tempting to go down there and take them out. But for what gain, you know? For what reason? I think we'll just keep building up our fleet. You get a little bit of money, but not really changing anything. And if anything, I want to make these guys a little happier and not keep killing loads of fleets. If we could just find a situation where they leave the town, get over there and take it, that'd be like the ideal. And the only way that would happen is if they go for someone like Carthage. Now, there's a Carthaginian fleet down here. So that's a good reason, actually, now thinking about it, why we shouldn't go for that. So we might get stuck. They're up to 12 ships now. So I don't know how they've done that, or if they built 2 fleets. Their transports are going west. They have 2 stacks here. God damn. Alright, let's keep going down. And then they have a stack here. So they've got armies all over the place right now. Alright, at least money is good. Everything else is good. Is there any new trade partners we could potentially have? The RDA might not be a bad idea. Although we are trading with these guys. Oh, no, we're not. Oh, yeah, that trade agreement has ended now. So there's no problem. It works out perfect.
Greetings, friend. We will speak together of whatever you wish, but bring words that can warm our hearts.
Wow, they won't really do it for any money. How much money would this be? 230? Do you want to just do it? Oh, wow. Okay.
I do not.
Well, I'm not paying for it. Or am I? 230 per month is pretty, or per turn is pretty good, actually. So maybe we'll pay for it. We'll know our place.
Greetings, friend.
A trade agreement for, I don't know,
whatever you wish,
400-ish?
bring words that can warm our hearts.
Alright. We'll have to leave it for a while. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Don't think there's anything else for us to do. We've moved our spy. This spy is just chilling here. We're watching that army. They're fortified now. They're not recruiting anymore, which is a good sign. We're still not getting replenishments. We're still waiting. And our population is still not gaining, so that sucks. So what can we do to help it? Nothing really, other than just, yeah, keep pushing the culture. We're waiting on that culture to kind of just get a bit higher. It's at 12%, gaining 2% per turn. That's pretty good. And this is going to make it go even further once we get the temple done, but that's many turns away. Alright, let's just end the turn. It's a bit of a wait-and-see game at the moment. Alright, let's go through the events. Our hidden agent has been exposed. That's fine. Protection has expired from Civil War. An increase in rank for Appius Caecilius Magellan, a governor that lives down in Sicily at the moment. The pirates have been spotted. Off the coast of Crete, pirates and raiders have gathered. A different pirate faction has risen. Wow. Now, just really quickly before we read any more of those events, I'm seeing a lot of Carthaginian flags around here. We've got enemy transports coming across led by Sanamph, the Fists of Hamilcar. Enemy fleet on the north of Sicily now, the 12 ships that have moved around. And then these guys are recruiting again. I'm getting a little worried. Because we're only starting to replenish now, and we're only going to gain just a little bit, not much. Interesting. Things are heating up. And if we leave this area then to go down, you know, we're vulnerable then at Taurus. Now, I could do something here that would be really cheesy. I'm not going to do it, but these are transports. If we sailed our fleet out and attacked here, these transports would come out at sea as well, this whole army, and we'd be fighting an army and a half just at sea, just nailing them. But I'm not going to trick the AI into doing stupid things, because that's what that would be. It would just be a trick. There's no reason they would disembark other than just being pulled in by some silly game mechanics. So, not going to do that, but I just want to mention that that is something that you could do. But yeah, I'm going to try and play a bit more immersively. Faction rises Macedonia. Weird. Wonder what's going on over there. Yeah, Macedonia. Faction destroyed, the Tergitani in Iberium. Household expands for Scipio Asina. A general up here. He's just gained a Master Smith. 4% weapon damage for all units. It's a bit pointless to give him that. Although I'm a bit confused because it says household expands, but he doesn't actually have it. Does it just mean that he generated that item? We can give it to someone. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Ooh, a culture boost. Appius Caecilius Magellan. Cultured. You never heard of that? Oh, how funny. Nice. So just an 8 cultural influence trait that he gained. That's really awesome. It might have been like 4 before that, or 3. It's probably leveled up. Public order for military presence in the local province. I don't see any reason not to do this, other than the -8 chance of evading enemy agents. But let's just try it. Might help things. What else could we do now? So, cultural conversion even further. Cultural conversion even further here, and tax rate. Extra cunning. What do you get for cunning? Just line of sight as well. 10% chance of evading enemy agents. Public order in the local province. Is there any other culture benefits that you can get? I'll probably go with Paragon. You get 5% research rate to public order, and then at the end you'd get all the way up to 15% research rate. That seems extreme. He's better than a library. So yeah, let's do that. Alright, cool. Shipwright report. We got our 2 extra ships this year in history, 273 BC. Doesn't really matter to us, because everything's different now. Sicilian pirates. Oh my god. Now, the Illyrian pirates... Oh, they've been damaged. They've gone all the way up north. Interesting. God, it is tempting to somehow make my way around here and see if we can attack that Carthaginian fleet. It'd be 11 versus 12. Might go with 2 more ships then. I'll go with 2 assault biremes. And that'll be it. Then we have Syracuse is still building its couple of buildings. We don't have the money for anything else then at this point. We're still replenishing, so that's good. At least it's still gaining. They're doing their thing. Not much else to really do other than just continue to move our spy down here. Now, I want to check on the diplomatic situation for Carthage. Are they just focusing on me? They are. They're still at war with the Arvasi and the Editani, so that'd be these 2 factions here in central Iberia. The Lusitani have expanded all the way out the west. They've got at least 3 regions now, and we're trading with them, so we're good friends with them. I wish we could talk them into
the gods will have
joining the war, huh?
But do not pass the day in words without merit.
I'll give you 1,700 to join this now. Okay. Alright, so I did say that we'll have a quick look at politics, just very quickly. So the loyalty is actually positive for everybody, which I think is okay. It's 0% risk right now. I think I was misremembering that it actually needs to be -10 before you get a risk of civil war. So I think we're okay. So the interesting thing is these 2 traits are for the party, and then the 3rd trait is for the current leader of the party. So we have mercantile. So 1 loyalty for every trade agreement established, up to 10. So this is why we have 6, a benefit of 6 loyalty with them already, so they're super happy with that. Traditionalist, 1 loyalty for each province where the player's culture is dominant, so that'd be 2. And it doesn't lose 1 otherwise. Yep, 2. And then Mogul. This one's really interesting, actually. 2 loyalty for every province that brings in more than 5,000 wealth. I don't think we're there yet for that, but we're not that far off. Latium's at 4,470. So we're close. So they're relatively happy. Then we have the gens junia, so agriculturalists. This basically means that 5 loyalty for having a food surplus, so that should always be a guarantee, pretty much. A bigot, -1 loyalty for each province where the player's culture is not dominant, so this is currently 1, which is interesting because he's an expansionist. He wants to expand, but he's part of a party that, unless the culture is our culture, it's going to be a negative. So, +5 loyalty for 2 turns for each enemy settlement captured. Oh, cool, right. So, up to 10 per turn. So, you can only ever get 10. Right, got it. So, if you're constantly expanding, that could maybe outweigh the bigotry that they feel. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. And then, gens papira, or papiria. So, expansionists as well, but that's a permanent trait for them, not just their leader. So they want us to expand as well. Populists. -10 loyalty for every level of taxes above average. So that's okay as well, because we have it pretty low. And then they're agriculturalists, which we read before. And that's just the current leader. Now, their loyalty breakdown. The only thing that's a negative right now is just our government type is a -10. So we haven't done anything to actually annoy anybody. Except this guy. They're bigots. We don't have Sicily under our control fully, so that's why they're unhappy. So just good to kind of learn about that stuff and play to those different strengths. Those party traits are never going to change, just the 3rd one will, so that's fine. Now, if any of these generals die or anything, then things could be shaken up pretty significantly, so we have to watch out for that. Alright, I think that's pretty much it. This has been very much just like ending turns and waiting and seeing, but we are recruiting a fleet the whole time, and we're waiting for this army to get replenished. I can't really leave this area until Empress leave the area, or we make peace with them, which we could try.
Welcome.
It's moderate.
The day is already old, and there is much to do. So if you have work...
I'll think about it. I really did want to get them as a client, though, but let's just end the turn. If we can't get them in a turn or 2, then I think we'll just have to piece it out while we focus on Carthage. I just feel like we leave our back very exposed that way. So this guy's also leveled up. So 3% unit replenishment goes up to 6%. But it all depends on population. But we'll do that anyway. And then cultural conversion again. So now we're really hammering culture in this area. Extra public order, that might not be a bad idea while we're here. Although I do think Paragon again. Public order plus research rate. That seems like a no-brainer. Right, so we're at -2. But the culture now should really be gaining. 1.9%. I think it might recalculate next turn. But yeah, our influence is 34. And Punic and Hellenic and Italic are falling. Good. Oh my god, here we go. 2 armies. Oh man. Alright, this is quite a serious battle. Now we could bail. Oh, I don't know. We're in a fort. We're in defensive stance. We're in a fort. They have to come attack me. But it is 2 full stacks rolling in, basically. And then we've got our garrison army that will be kind of running in. I think we just gotta try defend our little fort. So let's go. Alright, here we are. We have deployables, so yeah. What do we got? Caltrops and barricades and spike traps that we can lay out in front of some of the gates. Now, I don't know where they're going to be coming from. Our allies are coming in from that direction, so they're going to be out in the field. Presumably that means then we should expect to attack, although they could deploy anywhere, but somewhere over here. So we'll just have to move once we see. Now, basically we have our Hastati, Roarii and the light infantry, the more heavy infantry, the Principes, and then we have hoplites, basically Triarii, and Pedites Extraordinari. Then we have all of our missiles. We're going to turn off fire at will for pretty much everybody.
Orders understood.
Now we've got Tarentine cavalry, Equites. Oh no, we don't have Tarentine actually, just Campanian cavalry that are Equites and Camillan cavalry, and then our general, Lucius Libo. Just stick him outside just for a minute, see where they're going to be coming in. I don't think I'm going to use deployables. As much as I'd kind of like to, it's kind of impossible to know where they're coming from. I guess there's no harm in just throwing some of them down here. So, hard to see, but there are now little traps in the ground, so if they're... I'll just put them on one side. So if they're coming around trying to get in, they'll fall into those a little bit. They'll do something, but not much. I suppose we could barricade then off this side. Maybe slow things down, just force them around the other area, maybe, or something. Mess them up. Caltrops for cavalry, not going to play with that. I end up running into them myself, I know. Alright. Okay, so they're over there. Alright, so all we can do is just man the walls and hope for the best. Now, their other army is coming in from over there. So what should we go with? I suppose if I just reorganize this really quickly, we'll go with some Hastati just holding. They are spearmen, so I guess that's good.
Advance at speed, Commander. Spear infantry at your command.
And we'll put them in defensive formation as soon as they get there. We're going to take a lot of missile hits. What do we got coming at us? Carthaginian citizen cavalry. They look like... Oh no, they are shock cavalry, actually. We'll need to defend all of our different walls, just in case they run around the sides. And then we bring in the garrison forces. Wow, they're actually really far up already. I can't believe it. They're just going to run in with cavalry. They're dead. Oh, it's like I'm playing Jackie Fish or something, man. The way they've just rushed me here. Now, their general is there. And we've got the towers on our side. Alright, so we basically just shield walled here. But look at the amount of fucking P-lib that's hit our shields. It's crazy. And that's their general again, just running straight in like a genius. Let these guys reorganize. I don't know if I should throw any spears yet or not. I feel like we can get out behind the infantry, because they're going to do significant damage when they come in. You just got to trust that the... Where are these guys getting in? What the hell? Have they actually phased through the wall? I've never seen that before. Maybe some of them just came around the sides just a little bit. Alright, levies just move away. Sorry, yeah, I wasn't expecting them to come in so quickly, but it's all cavalry pretty much at the gates right now. So we'll just keep holding with these guys for the moment. And there's slings being fired in. I just saw some stones. Oh my god. Now, if we can get them all bunched up and they all bunch up here, then we'll run the levies out the back and throw as much crap into their backs as we can. That's Roarii. I guess we should get some stronger stuff in here. Just before they run in. Just want to move my cavalry to the back as well. Just keep them safe. What a mess. What a disorganized mess. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't believe how fast they are. What's going on? They're just piling. Oh my god, they're going to run over the spike traps as well. God, the AI in this game is so shit, isn't it? It's just ridiculous. I don't remember them doing this. Just pure cavalry rush. They're burning my little fences now like crazy. Looking so wild. Alright, well, no big deal. Get our guys to line up there. I'm going to pull the Roarii back, actually. And then we can go into defensive formation if they want to run through there. Be my guest. Just want these guys to kind of reform a little bit. I'm worried about getting hit by just absolutely tons of missiles. Now, where's our other army? Our other army's here. They're coming. They're on their way. Whoops. Could get them to run just a little bit. There's actually some archers and stuff in those units. I guess we'll keep walking because who knows. They've got so much. Look at where they're going on the radar, by the way. What is going on? No, they got archers and then they got just some spear units. Wow, this is really weird. Yeah, I think they're kind of busted, actually. Well, it works to my advantage, I guess.
Orders. Spear infantry, ready. For the gods.
All right, guess we just grind them down. They might be heading out towards our other army that are out here. And the towers are just firing on them constantly now as well. It is tempting to run out with my cavalry. I just feel like we'll draw them away then at the same time. It's not a good idea. Maybe one unit actually could just go for the little run. Turn off fire at will and just see if we can see what we can do. Yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare. Not gonna lie, it's such a shame that this happens. I feel like I'm constantly saying that in this playthrough and we're like, oh. It's just disappointing when the AI just throws themselves, because you want a good war with Carthage. You don't want it to be... And I'm trying not to cheese, right? I'm just like, yeah, I'm just going to defend the fort. They attack the fort. It would have been better, I suppose, if we were in the city and they attacked the city. Yes, this is what I thought would happen. We've kind of activated that unit over there. These guys are still just moving up. Things are going well, though. They're not really creeping through just yet.
Jupiter gives us strength. Follow me.
But the balance of power is still heavily against us. There's a lot of them. Let's get our other general cavalry out now. We might be able to fire into this guy.
Italian cavalry. Missile cavalry at your command.
Yeah, there we go. So we'll do a little turnaround now. Little how's your father. Oh my god, they're just going straight in for it. Wow, that was a cool looking charge, actually.
By your command.
We're at 100, they're at 84. They've taken a lot of missile damage for a while, so now with their other units in there, that should be them wiped. We have archers here that we could kind of run up to if we can be quick about it. We've also got archers out here that are kind of taking some of my tower fire away.
General.
Are they gone? They're gone. I think I'll go for these guys. Still have our levies here. Still have archers, or not archers, pedetes at the back, hoplites and stuff. That's good, as long as we're still owning the towers, we're still firing all the time, that's the important thing. Alright, let's go attack those guys. The reinforcements are also here, almost here.
Brave Romans to a man.
Just expanding the formation before we actually engage. Now these towers can hit us, so you gotta be a little bit careful with them. I reckon it's almost time to move those levies out and start slamming into their backs, just once these units all get to the gates. There definitely is some stuff messed up though, because I just saw a second ago, hovering over there, there was like units far out in the field or something. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I thought I saw, I know it's like there's some cavalry running off in the distance, but I thought maybe their formation was broken. I guess not. Alright, we dealt with that unit, that was easy. Let our cavalry take a break and a breather for a moment. Might be wise to bring the general back in-house for a buff to what's it called, like inspire and combat strength and morale and stuff.
Missile infantry ready.
And I think it's time to bring these guys out, so let's do that.
Ready. Ready and waiting. In service to roll. Pikes ready.
Oh wow, we have 2 more pike units. I didn't even realize that. That's great.
General.
Oh my god, they're really... I can't even look at that area. They're trying to just push through like crazy. I suppose, actually, like, I'll leave the shock cavalry here. I'll bring the general in. He's too important. He's my faction leader. Bring him in. But these guys can go for a rear charge when they reform and get some of these guys to come up at their backs too. We'll get the general to go around and deal with that archer unit.
Brave Romans to a man.
At least, I suppose, in the end, they did just all come together and try to brute force their way in. I mean, that is Rome too. They're never going to be smart enough to, like, burn gates and try to do other things. So, at least, I was just worried when I saw them all sprawled. I was like, oh my god, maybe they're not even going to attack together. But at least they did, in the end.
General. Sic Domine. Proud Romans all.
Alright, let's move these archer boys around.
To Rome. Your
Or the levies, I should say, and the archers with them. And then we'll come around their backs and just fire like crazy into them. It might be not a bad idea to take some of the Roarii with them, actually. Some light spears that can move kind of quickly. And we'll bring these guys in. Alright, General's going to make a move on that unit out there. I'm just a bit worried that the tower will hit us, but hopefully not. I think we're about ready to go for a charge on this side too.
Quickly now.
ready for orders. Levies.
The levies just line up like that.
And the devil. In the name of Rome.
We're bringing the Roarii out to help. Some of them are starting to break now, so now's the time we want to start pulling off a few of these charges. And if they give chase to these units, then whatever, these will come up from the side, hopefully hit into the backs of them. General's in combat. He's okay. He's doing okay. Right, engage. Engage here as well. Actually, just hit the same point. Just missile units, so nice and soft. No problem. Their cavalry's running away, which is good. Alright, we're starting to break them. Now, they could fire at will now. You might as well throw any spears you or whatever you fire. Peel him and stuff in there. Let's get our general back. Let's get the Roarii to follow. Let's reinforce the fort with these guys. How are we doing thickness-wise? We're okay. We're starting to lose some units on this side, though. Yeah, they're actually really thick over there. We gotta watch out for that. Are these all running away? Let's mow them down. Right. You gotta get up there and get throwing into their backs. Get the general in there for the inspire and the morale buffs. 2 extra pike units coming up, so I think we'll be alright. If we could just reinforce this area before too many run away. This is awesome, just running them down as they run away. Alright, reinforcements are here. Nudge forward, please. Reform your line if that does anything. And get the general in the center, please. Now, turn off fire at will. Just keep that off. We're going to line up right about there. Really close to them, but that should be good enough to start throwing like crazy into the center. And if they come at me, they come at me. You know, what can you do? Alright, let the horses take a breather for a second. What do we got, by the way? We have improved Inspire. It greatly improves the melee and range skill of all nearby units for an extended period. Won't be able to hit these guys for their range, but that's alright. What kind of range do you have? Yeah. This is great. Alright, so once you're fully lined up, we'll do a fire on concentrate fire right into the center. Hope for the best. The other units are coming in now, so this is alright. So just reform one more time. We gotta watch out for hitting that rock. Alright, 3, 2, 1, fire. Oh my god. Oh, it's good. Now, firing flaming shot lowers morale, right? Let's do fire arrows in there. A lot of them have hit this fence. The flaming arrows are in now as well. It's going to lower their morale significantly. I suppose you want to do a bit of a charge to really break them then. And let's try box them in with some of those Roarii. Alright, stop firing. Take a breather for a moment. Let's get these guys to line up here. Like we set our own fort on fire there. Yeah, these guys are all just running, so that's good. Keep running down these units. A lot of them are like pretty high tier and pretty still full of like men. Right, let's rotate in some melee infantry, maybe on this side. These are just garrison forces, but they'll do all right. Fresh pikes, I suppose, could go there too. These guys, mob, will run them around the back. Why not? Yeah, you know what? Let's get in against that rock and prevent them doing this. Now, we'll fire another volley in there. It's not over yet. God, look at this. What a nightmare for them. Oh my god. Yeah, that'll do it. Right, now I want you to specifically fire on that unit, because that's the only one that hasn't broken. Then we send in everybody. God, there's so many that are actually still getting away. This is good. They're just holding that little area now, where there's a ton of units trying to get through the rock or get past it. Is that it then? Yeah, these guys, good job. Just get in there. Do whatever you can now then. Everyone's broken. Alright, we don't have to do anything with them. Let's get the general over this side. And we'll just run in with the mob into their backs. Why not? Looks like they did actually run over some of the spike traps. Alright, oh my god. I'll tell you what, hang on. We have one unit here that can do a concentrate fire, and these guys could concentrate fire. We'll just continue just for a second. Fire right there.
Sons of Mars!
Not the wisest attack from Carthage, huh? Alright, the guys that have run off, let's consider them gone, but we'll keep hammering into these ones that still haven't made it out of the fort fully yet.
Mob!
And the mob are having a field day out there. They never get to kill anybody. They're so excited running around with their little knives. Oh my days. Alright, is that enough? I think that's enough. We'll call it there. GG. A heroic victory indeed. I feel very heroic indeed. Alright. Alright, GG. We did not lose any units. They lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 11, 12, 13, 14 in total. Both their generals have been killed, so that's good. Enslave, ransom, kill. I think we'll enslave one more time, but then we really will be filled up with slaves for a while, I think.
Destination reached.
Alright, GG. So yeah, we can go fight them actually and whittle them down further, one by one if we want. Ooh, the Architect. A noble daughter appears before you with a plea. Her mother, a very influential woman, insists on sending her to the Temple of Athena, where she is to become a priestess of weaving. Humbly, the girl asks us to let her serve on the City Planning Council. From what we've heard, she is a great student of mathematics, and her tutors are indeed very proud of her. Should we intervene? Yeah, we'll take her on. Military traditions. The brave men of this army have leveled up. Legio won Latium after their great defense. Gnaeus Cornelius Scipio Asina, our general. Ah, right, yeah, sorry. I was thinking, like, what has he done? He's just our governor general. He's leveled up also. What else do we have? Personality report. Libo has become a clever strategist. Yes, we employed very clever strategy in that battle. So we get a bunch of little benefits there. Household expands for Libo. We'll look over this, I guess, in the next episode, so a bunch of different little things that we can pick from. Shipwrights report. We got our 2 extra ships. Hidden agent exposed. So here's the situation now. Our army is replenishing. It did gain a little bit back even after that battle. And it's actually replenishing pretty well, considering the population deficit. I don't even know how it's doing that, really. But it is. So yep, so that's pretty good. So we could go for these guys, finish them off. But they'll probably drag in the other... Would they? It's hard to tell. No, actually not. I think we'll get them on their own. They won't be able to run over the bridge if we come here and attack them that way. They might go further out that way, though. So we'll think about it for the next fight, or the next episode, I mean. Meanwhile, our fleet is doing its thing. We're up to 13 ships now. The rebellious fleet up in the north is raiding. We might go and chase them down while they're doing that, because they're raiding, stealing some of our income. This army is just still waiting for Epirus to make a move, but they haven't moved yet, nor have the Corinthians. They're still just sitting on the coast. Watching, I guess. Watching the sea. So yeah, that's going to have to be it for this episode. So a little defense outside Syracuse. We're still just going to be playing it kind of safe. Don't want to, like, ruin the army. Don't want... You know, we just need replenishment, basically. We need replenishment, and then we can go on the offensive. But we can't really properly take anything and hold it until our fleet is there and strong enough to be able to maintain that. Which it almost is. I haven't seen a Carthaginian fleet bigger than 12 ships, so we're almost ready to do that. Alright, so that's going to be it for me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.